This is Roy Cannaday from Epic Gaming Night.
This is Robert Newman from Epic Gaming Night.
And today we're going to be taking a look at the Guardians of the Galaxy set. This is the second volume from HeroClix. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 adds several different Guardians of the Galaxy characters from the movies to your HeroClix game. First off, there's Star-Lord, who has Sidestep, Psychic Blast, Energy Shield Deflection, and can use Leadership and Outwit. And if he has a crit, he can use Outwit 2 more times. Drax gets +1 to each of his combat values for each token he has on him, and when he clears, he gets to heal. He starts with Sidestep, but then gains Charge. Gamora has Charge, Precision Strike, Combat Reflexes, and Perplex. She also gains Super Senses and Blades Claw's Fangs later on in her dial. She also has Indomitable. Groot can use Stealth and Smoke Cloud. He can also use Enchantment and Shape Change, as well as Sidestep, and he also gets Poison at the end of his dial. Rocket Raccoon has Running Shot, Energy Explosion, Super Senses, and Probability Control. He also has very high defense for the point cost. Mantis has Charge, Precision Strike, and Combat Reflexes. She also gains Close Combat Expert and Probability Control, as well as Regeneration at the end of her dial. Ravagers have 4 different starting lines. At the beginning of the game, your opponent will choose which starting line your character starts on for each one of the Ravagers, but they each have to be different, so you have a wide variety of powers your Ravagers can have. Sovereign has Running Shot. He can also use Toughness and Willpower, and then if he has an action token, he can use Invulnerability, and if he's pushed, then you can use Impervious. Nebula can use Blades Claw's Fangs, but when she does, she rolls 2d6 and takes the highest result. She can also use Charge and Fury with her speed ability. Kraglin has Running Shot, Energy Explosion, and Toughness, and also other Ravagers that are adjacent to him get to use Willpower. He also has Incapacitate and Leaping Incline. Rocket and Groot has Stealth, Willpower, and Outwit. He also gains Perplex, but you can dismount Groot from Rocket, and if Groot or Rocket dies, they'll boost the stats of the other. Rocket has Plasticity, Poison, and Enchantment. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 lets you play the game with the characters from the movie and tell your own epic stories in the Marvel Cosmic Universe. So we just played around with some of the Guardians of the Galaxy HeroClix. What did you think of them, Rob?
I really liked them. Granted, I'm still new to HeroClix. I've only played a couple games of HeroClix so far, but I really enjoyed it. I tried to do the Guardians team up. I wasn't able to get Drax in my team because he's pretty hardcore. You
were like all the Rockets and Baby Groots.
I did, bro. We'll talk about it shortly, but Baby Groot, MVP for my team. And he should not have been. But he was the MVP.
Yeah, like Baby Groot doesn't have super amazing stats or anything, but he rolled some crits for Rob, which is pretty hilarious. And that's one of the things I love about this. Like, HeroClix, I like to play it like super casually, and one of the big things is just like the theme. Like, I love Guardians of the Galaxy, so just having those characters and being able to play with Groot and Baby Groot and Rocket Raccoon and Star-Lord running around shooting up stuff, it's just a lot of fun to see those characters like in action on the board.
It was a lot of fun, and I used Rocket and Baby Groot and then a Rocket Baby Groot combo as like part of my team. They all just really meshed well together, and you're not trying to get like too cheesy into the theme, but for a little bit there, I'm like, man, this is like, I could totally see Rocket yelling at Baby Groot, "Don't press that, don't touch that." It was a blast. It really was a blast, and I don't know if this really matters so much for this review, but I like the map that we played on. That
just
helped
an
out
indoor
a lot.
map?
Well, it was an indoor map, and it made Baby Groot and some of my smaller characters relevant. Because, you didn't have those big, huge line of sights.
Yeah.
And so that definitely helped a lot with my strategy, which I won, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Good times. But yeah, I definitely enjoy the theme of all the different stuff. I think there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Like, a lot of the Rockets have really high defenses, so it's like super hard to hit them. We got Nebula, which was like one of the super rare. She has like a bunch of cool abilities where she can do like Blades Claw's Fangs, but she has to roll 2 dice.
Yeah, and pick the highest of the 2 dice.
There's lots of Outwit, so like Rocket has Outwit, Star-Lord has Outwit. So you can do a bunch of different Outwits. Nebula has Outwit. Yeah. So you can do a bunch of stuff to mess up the other powers, which add an interesting dynamic if you're playing like with just this stuff.
And also the run and shoot, Star-Lord has it, Rocket has it.
Gamora has Charge.
Charge. Like, they're pretty solid teams. Like, especially if you can combo and put your guys together, you can have a pretty formidable opponent.
Another thing I thought was pretty fun was that the Ravager character, he costs 20 points, but then you can add extra versions of him in there for another 10 points. But there's 4 different versions of him on his dial, and your opponent gets to pick different versions of him for each one you have in your team. So if you have all 4, you get one of each. But if you have 2 of them in there, your opponent gets to go through the dial and pick which powers you want. And they have like support and like poison and a bunch of different things that would help you out in like enhancement. And depending on the ones you have on your team, can help you out in different ways. And they're just like little guys with 2 hit points. Yeah. But it's kind of cool to have, instead of just like him having one basic simple stats, it can kind of be changed up depending on the game when you play it.
And I like the fact that your opponent gets to choose it. Yeah, I just think that's kind of cool. It just adds an extra element, like, well, I don't want to give him this power, but I also don't want to give him this power. So just a really cool set so far. And I think it'd be a lot of fun if you ended up getting like a lot of these guys, since they're so cheap. Just making like a huge army of all the Ravengers and pirates.
So these gravity feeds are normally sold like mass market type stuff. A lot of times. If you saw this at your Walmart or Target or anything like that, do you think you would pick up some of the Guardians of the Galaxy guys?
Oh, I would definitely pick up some of the Guardians of the Galaxy guys. 1, for the theme. It's absolutely hilarious. It's a lot of fun. 2, because I'm falling in love now with HeroClix.
Oh, yeah.
I'm brand new to it. And so I want to get my hands on everything that I can. And this is also some of the newest things to come out. So, you know, everything is going to be, like the cards are going to have the powers, are going to have the levels, are going to have everything on there. And so high quality stuff. And then 3, now after playing this, I like the teamwork and the complementary things that they do for each other, and so
it's a lot of fun. The whole team building aspect.
Yeah, it's not like an individual. Like I have Superman, and I'm just going to go ahead and put some other guys to fill in with Superman. You know, it's like no, this really works well when you use them as a team. So,
and definitely one of the things I like with the newer sets is that they have the whole powers on the back. That makes it super easy for like new players to get into the game. You just be like, okay, well, if I get hit, like these are the things that are going to happen, and you can kind of like know the whole dial. With normally you used to like click, 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 or look it up online to see what the whole dial was, and this just splays it all out for you at one time. And they're doing that with all of their new sets here recently. But yeah, so that was Guardians of the Galaxy from HeroClix. I think it's great overall.
Overall, definitely, especially if you're a fan of HeroClix, get it. And then if you're also just a fan of the genre, really a lot of fun. Excited to see what's going to come out.
Awesome. So that was another HeroClix review. Thanks so much for checking it out.
You're amazing.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.